This is a video about information literacy. What is information literacy? The American Library Association defines information literacy as a set of abilities requiring individuals to recognize when information is needed and to locate, evaluate, and use effectively the needed information. Information literacy applies to life in general, and it especially applies to your professional work, and if you're a student, to your studies as well. There are 5 steps in the information literacy process. So we're going to use the example of, let's say you decide to go out with friends to a dinner tonight, and you have to decide where and what you're going to eat. So first, you identify your issue, which is, I'm going to eat at a restaurant tonight and I need to pick one. 2, you have to decide what information you need to make the proper decision about which restaurant you're going to. So in this case, we know that we're going to have to think about what's on the menu, what type of food we want to eat, where is this restaurant, is it easy to get to for everyone, what's the ambiance inside, and what's the expense of the restaurant. The 3rd step is locating the information. So you may talk to friends that you think have great taste. You may call potential restaurants or look at their websites to peruse their menus. You might also look at review services like Yelp to see what people are saying about this place and what their general ratings are. In step 4, you evaluate the information. So are these reviews that you've listened to or seen online, are they non-biased? Are they coming from sources that are reliable? For example, if you have a friend that has horrible taste in food and they say, oh, I really don't like that restaurant, then maybe you want to consider that restaurant. If it's a Yelp review that's really super positive, you may think, you know what, this kind of looks like it's directly from one of the owners of the restaurants because the rest of the reviews are negative. And if it's a super negative review where most of them are positive, maybe the restaurant had an off night, but also maybe it's just someone that's disgruntled because they wouldn't give them something for free. So you think about all this information, and then in the final step, step 5, you apply the information to your issue. So you choose this particular place because people rave about the food, they have the kind of menu you like, it's in a location that's easy for everyone to get to, they're affordable, and that's it. So this process seems very simple, but no matter how complex your issue is, you use the same process. A couple of other real-life situations. You may have seen on the news a couple of occasions where people ended up being hospitalized or even dying because of incorrect use of prescription medications. Information literate people do not make those kinds of mistakes because they know how to read the complicated language that comes with the instructions on using these medications, or they figure out what they need to know from speaking with their own physician or a pharmacist. Many of you have experienced buying a car or have been with someone that was buying a car, and you know that information literate people don't just show up at the lot and point at something and grunt and then pay whatever it is that the dealership is asking for. Information literate people do a lot of research. They think about what type of model they want. Do they want a truck, an SUV, a small coupe? They think about the safety ratings of the car, how that particular model is in terms of maintenance over time. And of course, they also look at the price. And so when they go onto that lot of the dealership, they know exactly what they're looking for and what they're willing to pay. I had a personal situation in kind of a different area. I had never had a cavity in my life, and I had been going to the same dentist for about 5 years. And on one visit, they told me, we're sorry, you've got 2 cavities. And I said, nah, I don't really think so. And they showed me the x-rays, and they said, no, really, you need to take care of these right away. So I went through my own information literacy process. I thought about my own routine in terms of dental hygiene, and I knew that nothing had changed. So if it had worked for me all these years, why all of a sudden wasn't it? I looked online at pictures of teeth, x-rays of teeth, with cavities, and I compared it to what I saw in the office, and I really didn't think that they looked the same. The next step was I spoke to a friend of mine who had actually recommended this dentist in the first place. She had also never had cavities. She visited the office about a month before I did, and magically she also had 2 cavities where none had existed before. And finally, I went to see another dentist and get a second opinion, and guess what? No cavities. This office was completely lying to me, basically to make more money off of me. So if I wasn't an information literate person, I would have extra holes in my face where they didn't belong, and I would have paid for the privilege of getting those.